There is no lack of ideas on video content for you to do. I've got DeAnn Golden with me from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Georgia Properties with me today. We're going to talk about what she's seeing with some of her agents and what we're seeing with some of ours. There are so many ideas. We're just going to touch on a few to hopefully get your creative juices flowing so that you can service your clients better. All right, I am here with my good friend DeAnn Golden, CEO for BHHS Georgia Properties, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Georgia Properties. We are getting to spend some time as she is down enjoying our beaches, and so I always love it when you make it down so we get to spend some time together. We were talking a little bit about some of the innovative things we're seeing some of the agents at Georgia Properties as well as at Beach Properties of Florida that they're doing with video right now. That we know if you'll listen to this, maybe it gets your creative juices flowing. It gives you some ideas of some things you can apply in your market to help you better serve the clients that you're supposed to serve. So, DeAnn, let's start a little bit by, obviously, we're just seeing such innovation right now, and we truly are stronger together.
We are.
And so, consequently, I think it's great for us to get together, share some of the things that we're seeing some of these agents do to give them an opportunity that if you're looking for someone to refer property to in these areas, you've got someone that's doing the business well, and also a model that they can use in their business as well. So let's start with that. Anybody that jumps out right out of the gate for you?
Well, Jimmy, we are so fortunate to see everyone is really leaning in on video. You've taught us the power of it. We see it, we know it. And we actually at Georgia Properties have a lot of agents that are starting. But knowing we were going to talk about this today, I just did a quick look through my feed the past 24 hours. And let me highlight a couple of those because we have so many. But Lindsay Levine is taking her clients, her sphere, her network, and around the world on walking tours in the neighborhoods that she geo-farms. And they are innovative, they are informative, and it's really from an authentic place. You know, also, I was watching one from Robert Allen, and he's answering questions that's on everyone's mind, and I think that is so important. It's not about them, it's about the people they are serving and what's on their mind, and there's a big shift in that as to what's in it for you so that we can really help guide people. You know, Brew Krebs was another one. This was just on my feed the past 24 hours, and I would have to echo the same. He is really talking to people and finding out what's on their mind in today's market. It's a different market. There's a lot of questions. We all know that the national news is 60 days in arrear of reporting what's happening, but associates like this are owning the voice and the voice to share to be the local on the boots expert. One other one that just came to mind too is Alexandra French, and getting very specific. Many of our agents are also partnering with our partners, whether it's Prosperity or our title partner or a warranty partner or insurance or some of our local family of services. And again, being able to convey all the answers about that home services need in between the sale, not just at time of sale, but to really be the local real estate community expert. You talk about it so well, being the mayor, being the person, the go-to person when they need anything in the community. And I like to say, not just at time of sale, but leading up to it, before, during, and after, and onward, and for all their friends. Yeah,
so let's get super practical with this for everybody. Let's go back to Lindsay doing the walking tours. So one of the things that's great about this, and I just love this, I mean, she's training for a marathon, she's getting ready, and so what she's doing is she's compounding her time. She's out there walking through these communities anyway, traveling through these communities. But think of it this way, and I'm going to give you a couple examples some of the way some of our agents are doing some of these as well. When we're talking about this, what Lindsay does basically is as she's walking, and I'm assuming she's using like just a little selfie stick that just kind of stabilizes everything, she's just talking about the highlights of the community, how many homes there are, what are the amenities, who's the ideal person to live in that community, where do they typically come from, just the different types of things going on in the community that really highlights it. Now the beauty of this is because there are not as many people doing these things yet, is with YouTube. Now think of it this way, YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. And so consequently, when people are going on Google, because Google owns YouTube, you're seeing those videos move up in that search portion of Google as well. So they're either going on YouTube and they're curious about a subdivision. By highlighting these amenities in that subdivision, you're going to be able to move up, and that's what we're seeing. A couple of things that we've done on some of these is, as we've done them, we've gone in and we'll just actually do a script. So we'll do an intro in that subdivision or that condo for some of us, where we'll talk about what's going on and we'll give the amenities of that. We will then shoot the content initially there. Then we'll have a videographer that will shoot to the script. Now, what we want to do with the script is that we want to have that script where you have the ability to actually say all the things that Google's going to search for. So for us, for instance, one of them we did, it was like destined condominiums on the Gulf. It was, what are the things people are going to search for? Located in beautiful Miramar Beach, across from whatever amenity it is. So we start doing these things. We then took the script, it's only about a 2-minute video, we took the script and used that as our actual description of it. Because here's what Google does. Google is going to look at, and YouTube, they're going to look at and listen to the audio portion, and they're going to look at the description. The more that matches up, the more clarity it has on who is this for, what does that look like. So I would encourage you to do that. We've seen some of this. Noah Escobar, 22-year-old agent for us, is actually out there. He is highlighting some of these neighborhoods and doing some of the things where he's doing that. And literally, I think he told me that there was the first day of overnight, he woke up and he's like, this thing worked all night for me. It was having those video views. You don't realize the value of this, not just now, but as it compounds over time. So that's great what Lindsay's doing, highlighting communities, showing those things. What was number 2? I was trying to remember as I was talking.
Well, I think Robert Allen as well as Brew Krebs and also Alexandra French were the 3 I mentioned because they just popped up in my feed. And what caught my eye was a lot of them are using the subscripts so that you can see the closed caption. Yes. So you can, even if you're not where you can hear it, you can read. And the information is so factual and concise. And it's like, hey, I was wondering that too. And so you start to think again that they are answering the questions that are residing in people's minds about the home buying or selling or investing process. And it answers it in a succinct, you're very, very spot on with that, and in a meaningful way, and you never know who it's going to reach. And I think that's a powerful tool with video.
Yeah, and I want to touch on the community, and then I want to come back to this because what really blew my mind about this is we had a new subdivision that only had 3 houses built. We had an agent that got a call, and they said, hey, can't get down there. Can you just do a scan video of the neighborhood and what it looks like now and send it to me? The video was too long on her phone to text it, so she had to park it in YouTube. So she put it in YouTube. This is a brand new subdivision. She puts it in YouTube, and all it said was the name of the neighborhood overview. And then she just sent that to them. She did no tagging. She did no boosting. She did nothing but park that video so that she could send it to somebody where they could see it. About 3 weeks later, she gets a call out of the blue, and someone says, hey, I saw your video on the community, because she was the first and because she had just done a scanned video and there was nothing else out there, and she sold a $400,000 house from that little scanned on her phone video. So it's not about being perfect, it's about being done.
That's right.
And then begin to get better and better at those things. So I would just say, if you're not doing this for the communities you're in, start doing these. These could be short form videos. They could be just, hey, we're sitting in watercolor. Here's the Gulf front amenity in watercolor. And you talk about what that is. Hey, here's the frog pool. And whatever it is, do a series of these shorter form videos and it'll absolutely do well.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out. Lori Lane, our president of New Homes, who also champions in our luxury space. She and her team have been taking reels to a whole new level. And we've watched the impact of those, the response, the life of them take a whole new form. So if you're not familiar with how to do it, there's no better time than now. You said it earlier, you want to be ahead of the competition. You want to be doing things that others aren't before they catch on. And what is it? Wayne Gretzky says, skate to the puck. And this is where it's at. And it's so helpful to have a partner like you down here who is always willing. And your videos are great. Team, go back, watch Jimmy Burgess, follow him on YouTube. He's got a great series of these little tips and nuggets that you can take and put into your business. And we appreciate you so much.
Yeah, let's talk about like what we're talking about with the reels and the short form video, because a lot of people get overwhelmed with this. There is an app out there now called CapCut, CAPCUT. It's a very easy to use, walks you through how to add the music, how to put the frames together, how to add in all of the script underneath. So it does a lot of this for us. Where it was so hard before, it's so easy. What it also does is when you've got that short form video, it gives you the ability to utilize that on Instagram Reels, to take that over and use it on TikTok, and to also use it in YouTube Shorts. Has to be under a minute for it to be considered a YouTube short. But these are all, YouTube is doing the shorts now to compete with what TikTok has done, taking market share. Instagram is using the Reels because it's to compete that. Make sure you're organically loading each of those up so it doesn't have the timestamp from the other. But if you'll do those things right now, I'll give you an example. We've got an agent, Andy Beal, who's with us, and he does a tremendous job of, he just literally, if he's on a bike ride with his wife, he'll take a short video. He does, and he uses green screen. If you're not curious about any of these things on how to do them, just go to YouTube. What's great now, there's no excuse. And just say, how do I post a green screen backdrop on Instagram? And it'll show you exactly how to do it. What he's doing is he'll say, one of the best things we love about living the lifestyle, because we're ultimately selling lifestyle, about living in this community is the afternoon walks on the trail system. And then he's just got green screen behind him, and then he's standing there telling that on the reel. Drop some music in there, has that scripting in there, and it is pretty amazing to see the reach that it has. So I would just encourage you, if you're looking for some of those things, don't be afraid to do short form video as well. Some of that stuff you're only on there just to do the introduction. Some of it you're just the voiceover. So if you're afraid to be on video, work your way into it and begin to do those things. Let's talk about a couple. Remind me again, the last couple that we were talking about, those were more focused on more of the community type events and some of those things. Is that correct?
Yes, and answering the questions that are on today's buyers' minds, whether it's about getting, how do you get pre-approved? What's the process? What do you need to know? You know, where interest rates where they're at today, what's the difference in the math? And if you really boil it down, again, fact from fiction, be the bearer of truth. And I know many of our associates are really taking opportunity to get out these real estate property reviews and be the geographical farm expert. And so you're seeing that with many of ours. And you know, Jimmy, I don't know about you, but this might be a perfect opportunity for us to just reach out to our associates in your company and in ours and say, you know, if you're doing something innovative like this, we are stronger together. Let's share it. Let's share it right here.
In these comments.
And let's share it in these comments, because what's happening is we're building an archive of informative information that today's consumer is searching for so direly, the facts and so forth, and they want to be able to have that, and there is no one better than to be able to have a Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices associate guiding them through this journey. But I think the more you can be real, be authentic, and that's really what stuck out with me watching Alexandra French talk about just authentically by the fireside questions that her clients are asking her. You know you have them. The same questions often get asked of us over and over again, just sometimes packaged in a different way. Jot down the next 30 days the most frequently asked questions you have.
Really good.
That's a great video series right there. Jot down the most frequently asked conversations that you have with your sellers. You know, what is on everyone's mind, and be the voice to answer those questions.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really good. And let me just say this, because a lot of times I'll have newer agents or maybe less seasoned agents say, hey, I was asked this question, I'm not really sure how to answer it. Or you have a question in your mind that you're like, I hope they don't ask me that. Let me give you something that's right now also is ChatGPT gives you the ability, free account. Now it's kind of overwhelming right now to get in there, but make sure you're trying this. If you'll go into ChatGPT and ask the question. So let's say, is now a good time to buy a home with rising interest rates? We got to pull them back right now, but you understand what I'm saying. If you ask the question to ChatGPT, it's going to give that back to you. If you will then say, shorten that answer to a script for an Instagram reel, it will actually give you the script that you can utilize. The tools are out there. The days of excuses on doing this are over. So now we've got to, yes, just do it. And so as DeAnn mentioned, listen, if you've got some ideas or you're doing something interesting, make it down in the comments below. Go ahead and put down maybe your YouTube channel, maybe your Instagram, whatever it is that you're doing, so that we can then go check those things out and begin to follow each other. The best source of finding ideas on how to do video in your real estate business is by watching what other agents are doing. So just want to encourage you, leave those comments, follow some additional folks, begin to collaborate with people in other markets and within the companies, and I'll promise you're going to be able to serve your clients better. I hope this has been helpful, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.